Hello, my name is Jason Ritter from The Perfect Age of Rock and Roll, and you are watching Rock This with Jen. You are watching it with your one creepy eye.
It's Jen with you on Rock This, and we're hanging out with Jason Ritter because I just saw the most amazing film that you guys should see this year called The Perfect Age of Rock and Roll. Right, Jason?
Right.
And how did you get involved with this film? Let's talk about that.
The casting director, Kim Coleman, brought me in to meet Scott. She had seen another film that I had done, I think The Education of Charlie Banks she had seen, and so she brought me in, and Scott and I talked for a long time about his music inspiration and my musical inspirations, and then he asked if I could play guitar, and I said yes, and then a couple weeks later, it all came true.
Wow, so that's pretty quick. I mean, like,
it was pretty quick. Because
you're really into film, because you're an actor, obviously, but you have a really interesting musical background. How long have you been playing for?
I guess I've been playing bass bass guitar since I was about 12, and then I started playing guitar when I was about 15. Because once you're not in a band, playing bass by yourself, it's not as fun. It's just weird. It's awkward.
That's true.
You need a band to play. Well, initially that's why I played bass, is to make friends. Because a lot of people need bassists. There's a lot of guitarists around. Everyone wants to be center stage. There's not too many people willing to be,
Rhythm.
Rhythm.
Bring in the beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring in the beat.
Bass is very important.
Let me just tell you while we're rolling here, everybody, we are at the Norwood, which is a special private club, right, Jason, in New York City?
Yes, it is.
And we are special tonight. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
We feel pretty special. We got this very special room.
Very exclusive.
With these haunted dolls that come to life at midnight and scare us.
Yeah, what time? It's not midnight yet.
Not midnight yet. So
watch out, watch out.
That guy, one eye is open, and the other eye will open at midnight, and then he'll also come to life and haunt my dreams for the rest of my life. And that we Einstein protects us from the...
Billy, I love you from Norwood.
Billy O.
One of the best private clubs. Billy O, go with Jason. But thank you for allowing us to do the interview in this very exclusive room.
It's beautiful.
It's great. A lot of floors. It's like an old school brownstone here in New York City, Chelsea. So come on by if you can. But
we can't tell you the address.
We can't tell you the address. It's very private. But the cool thing is that Jason Ritter's here to talk about the film, The Perfect Age of Rock and Roll. And I know you said how you got involved with the film.
Yes.
But how long were you shooting the film for? Where did you guys shoot it?
We shot pretty much all in New Jersey. And then a couple days in Los Angeles at the very end. But we were staying in Rahway, and there's a train stop there at the Hilton in Rahway, which was very great. And then we shot maybe for like 5 weeks or something like that.
That's pretty quick, actually.
It was pretty quick, and there was a lot of stuff that we had to cover. And then actually after we shot in LA, they went out and got some shots of us driving across country. But
Route 66, right?
Route 66, yeah, exactly. But all of the stuff inside the van was all shot in various places in New Jersey. New Jersey is a very versatile place. It can look like all parts of America.
Suburbia.
It's suburbia, farmland, anything you need is all in New Jersey.
A lot of good bands came from Jersey.
And
Let's
talk
about that.
Came from New Jersey.
Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi.
Skid Row, if you were into them. Who else? Bruce Springsteen.
Did he? I thought he was from...
Oh my
God. Asbury Park, Stone Pony.
That's embarrassing.
You don't know that, Jason?
I guess I thought I was from Philadelphia.
No, you're kidding.
Because of that song.
The Streets of Philadelphia?
He felt like he knew that place so well, but I guess that's why they call him the boss.
Yeah, exactly. And Glory Days. Remember Glory Days?
And Down by the River.
See? And then the whole 9/11 tribute CD that he did. Bruce Springsteen, right? Did a CD about 9/11.
I did not hear that.
So we're going to listen to that next time
Let's
you're on
listen
Rock
to
This.
it. I will listen to that.
After this. After the Norwood, we're going to go home and put on our headphones and listen to some Bruce Springsteen.
Well, speaking of Bruce Springsteen, on YouTube, there's a bunch of us, the 4 video store dudes from Good Dick. We're all dancing to I'm on Fire on YouTube if you want to see it.
Yes. Okay, Good Dick. Okay, it's a movie, everyone. Watch out. Not a porno, you know.
Not a porno.
But it's so bizarre because this is a real thing. It's real life. I just saw that movie, Good Dick, with Jason Ritter last weekend, and now I'm talking to you. And we're cracking up because you have to see the film, right?
Yeah.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
But when you see the film, it's crazy. And then now I'm like, when I met you, I was like, hey man, I just watched a film. It's not even, it's such a indie film, right?
It is very indie, yeah.
Talk about Good Dick though as well, because I like to promote horror films.
Cool. Yeah, that was a movie that Mariana Palka she wrote. And she
acted in it?
and she and I are the 2 main actors, and she and I produced it, and we shot it in our apartment, and basically got all of our friends to help, and then it, got into a bunch of festivals, and now it's out on DVD.
That was shot at your apartment in LA?
Yeah, my apartment in LA.
Because I was like, when I was watching it, because I used to live in LA for a few years, and I'm like, this is like every single apartment when I lived on the west side in LA.
That's exactly where we are.
With these blinds.
That's exactly where we are, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
West side.
Oh yeah, because the video store, it was like on Sepulveda or something?
Yeah, it's on, almost Sepulveda. Sawtelle and, no, actually you're right, it is like Sepulveda and Santa Monica.
Because I drove by there when I was living, I had to drive as a New Yorker, and I totally passed by where you guys shot the film.
It's
I thought about it.
a great video store. It is a great video.
And it's an interesting subject matter of that film.
Yes.
So, you guys got to check it out. But, Perfect Age of Rock and Roll, it's about music and about 27. It's not a fun film. It's a very cool, interesting topic about musicians that were at their legendary heyday, say, like Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain.
Yes.
And 27 is a very special age.
Yeah, I remember when there was Nirvana was a huge influence on me, and the music was the first music that I had like a visceral reaction to. I was like 12, I think, when Nevermind came out, and it just was like a perfect moment in my life where I was becoming a teenager and first experiencing angst and realizing the world was horrible and all that stuff. And just his voice really spoke to me. And then as I started reading interviews of his, I really got more and more into him and what he stood for and the kinds of things that he was breaking down and everything like that. And then he died 2 years later at 27, and his mom, Wendy, I believe her name is, said, like, I told him not to join that stupid club. He's gone and joined that stupid club.
I see.
And then I didn't know what she was talking about, and an artist painted something like called That Stupid Club. Maybe it wasn't called That Stupid Club, but that quote was right next to the picture of that painting, and it had all these people in it: Jim Morrison, Brian Jones, Mama Cass. I don't know if she was 27, but but Jim Morrison and Keith Moon and it was the first time that I realized Jimi Hendrix, all these people had died at that age, and it was
a young
a thing.
age too.
Yeah, and I mean, I was 14 when I first learned about that, but it was still kind of intense.
But now,
older, yeah.
And when you think about 27, it's like,
it's so
you're just
young,
starting,
yeah.
And there's so much in the future that you guys can bring for your lives, but also to music, because you're amazing at that point in your life already as an artist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you wonder, I'm sure Nirvana fans and Hendrix fans and Janis Joplin fans wonder what they would be like today.
Yeah,
right?
and the brilliant, beautiful music that they would have come up with, and you know, in his suicide note, Kurt Cobain said, you know, it's better to burn out than fade away. But I would have loved to have watched if fading away was what ended up happening, if his popularity had gone down as he became a deeper artist. It would have been incredible for me. I mean, I would have stayed with him till the very end.
Yeah, and most people would, Nirvana fans.
Yeah, and he had, I mean...
I would fade away and
yeah,
see what you come up with.
Exactly, and the... his progression as an artist, like if you go from, if you think about Nevermind or even before that, Bleach, and then you watch Unplugged, it's like this incredible blossoming of this voice that we all... I mean, I certainly needed at that time in my life, and you know, so we were forced to go back and you know get all the new remixes and things like that. I think Bleach is coming out soon, remix of Bleach, which I'm excited about.
What now?
Yeah, November or something.
Because I got from Nevermind. That's when I became a big fan as well.
Me too, yeah.
And I said, oh wow, this is an amazing. When you first heard the record, right?
Nevermind.
Yeah. Or Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, you were 12. I was in college, so but there's always a unique thing.
I don't believe that for a second.
No, thank you, Jason. I know, right? But everybody, for me, it's a special song. Like, I always remember the first time I heard Nevermind.
Yeah.
And especially Smells Like Teen Spirit. I was at college radio, freshman year, NYU, and I was like, Violets. And I was like, who is this? Especially college radio, because they break a lot of bands. That's why CMJ is important.
Holler.
And and I was like, who is this?
Yeah.
Because I'm very passionate about certain bands, and Nirvana. When I heard it, I was like, well, there's a connection right there.
No, there's something about his voice that's so
speaks to me,
pure and so true, and
raw.
I mean, and raw,
emotional.
and yeah. I mean, in Smells Like Teen Spirit, I listened to it. I can't tell you that I understood the lyrics at all. But when he said a denial over and over and over again at the end of Smells Like Teen Spirit, I was like, there was something about the repetition of that really got me. And anyway, and then all the other songs that I ever...
Right? It helps you relate.
Yeah,
that experience helps you relate to this role that you're in the perfect age of rock and roll.
Yeah, that and I also looked a lot at Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains, and especially for him, like that was actually even more sort of appropriate for this role because Jerry Cantrell was having to deal with Lane Staley, who was this incredible talent and in a lot of ways the heart of the band. Yeah. Stage presence, vocals, beautiful, incredible voice, like, and but Jerry Cantrell was writing all the music and doing those amazing guitar solos, like that Man in the Box guitar solo. It's awesome.
And Jerry Cantrell still goes on.
He still goes on. Actually, in that new Alice in Chains album, I'm like promoting Alice in Chains. But Perfect Age of Rock and Roll is actually what needs them.
Time out. I'm gonna have to pick up this.
Have you heard of this little independent band called Alice in Chains? Really check it out.
Yeah, they need promotion.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's heard about it, but no,
for me, it all has to relate because you are an actor, but you're really into music.
I really do.
Doing this movie, you just don't want any actor. If I was the director, my man Scott's the director, but he chose you to be one of the main characters in this film.
Scott,
and I'm sure he felt your passion for music. So let's talk about that.
I think that, like, you know, I think that there are sort of two sides of you know, two kind of variations of fans of rock and roll. There are the people who really love the music, and that's the first thing. And then like us. And then there are also people. What's that? There are also people who really like the glamour and the rock and roll lifestyle and the standing up on stage and being like a rock god or whatever that is. And I think when I was talking to Scott about the movie, and you know, the people that I love, like Nirvana or Built to Spill or Bright Eyes or you know, it's like the music is the first thing for them all. It's not about like being a cool dude, you know, like, and
it's about what you're hearing when you first experience the music.
Yeah, what you're hearing, and like, you know, I mean, and when I would go see Built to Spill shows, to have Doug Marsh just say like, thanks, after every song, you know, instead of just standing up there and going, yeah, and like pointing to girls in the crowd and being like, you're next. It's like, no, I'm...
Yeah, maybe backstage.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so that whole aspect of it was, I think that was a lot what I talked to Scott about. We were talking about the perfect day of rock and roll. And so that was what I was sort of representing, is like the trying to be like that side, the hardworking, creative side. Scott said that one of the reasons that he had so much trouble when he was being a rock and roll person is, as the drummer, he was having to babysit everyone else and like bring them all to the, you know, it's not like they all wanted to play rock and roll. They all wanted to have a great time and be in a band, but no one wanted to put in the work, and he was one of the only people who understood, like, no, you can't just show up and like party all the time. Like, there is an actual time when you have to write music and things like that. So the two, but then without all of that glamour, the other side can't exist either. You can't just sort of be in your basement playing by yourself and have someone come. So it's this weird dynamic where the two sides meet each other, and you know, you just hope that the destructive side doesn't overwhelm the creative side, but unfortunately often it does. And to me, when I read the script, that was what the movie was about, is the sort of spark that happens that often becomes a all engulfing fire.
Yeah, very true. Like, it's about the music at first, when it's just you guys in your basement or your garage, and then you get signed or you blow up, and people get jaded about the lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they forget it's about the music.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times too, you know, a lot of all of that pomposity and all that, you know, rock god stuff comes from a real place of, you know, insecurity, you know, and like these bands, like Guns N' Roses or whatever, like you read about their life stories, and that was like this was their one escape, and so, you know, they went full force into it, but they weren't just like, exactly, and so, but